Good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. Today's read aloud was Dolphins on the Sand by Jim Arnosky. They came in over the reef from deep water, a dozen dolphins swimming fast, dolphins racing and leaping, chasing after a school of fish. Leading the chase was the oldest dolphin with her swift and agile younger. What do you think that word agile means? The baby dolphin is agile. It means he's very flexible. He can do a lot of things, so he's probably a really great swimmer. The dolphins swam against an outgoing tide as they pursued the fish closer and closer to the shore. So the tide is when the water comes up to the shore. So if the tide is coming up to the shore, it gets closer to the sand. If the tide is receding, then it's going back down and more into the ocean or the sea. Suddenly, the lead dolphin began slowing down. Tired from the chase, she turned away from the fleeing fish and swam to the shallow water near a long sandbar. There, she beached herself and rested. The young dolphin and all the other dolphins followed, skidding and sliding to a stop on the sand. So they came up as the water was with them, but now the water is going back down off the sand. The tide kept rushing out. The water near the sandbar quickly became dangerously low. The mother dolphin felt a strong urge to lead her baby back to deeper water. She squirmed around and faced the sea, but there was not enough water for her to swim. All of the dolphins wriggled around on the sand, struggling to swim. But with the deeper water now so far away, they could not escape. They were stranded on the sandbar. By the time the tide came creeping back in, the dolphins had been lying on the sand for hours. All were exhausted and dehydrated from being out of the water. Feeling sick and dizzy, the young dolphin lay against his mother. He nudged her with his head until she made some low sounds. The sun was sinking below the horizon. A kayaker gliding by spotted the beached-up dolphins and paddled to shore to get help. So the dolphins came to the shore while the water was still deep enough, but then the water receded back into the ocean and then they got stuck. Now they're very weak. How will this kayaker be able to help them? After dark, the first rescue boat came, shining a spotlight on the stranded dolphins. A little while later, more rescuers came in boats and on foot, carrying flashlights and lanterns. At first, the young dolphin was frightened by the bright light and the shadowy shapes. Then one rescuer knelt beside him and gently wiped the sand away from his mouth and eyes. The little dolphin felt cool water being splashed on his back and sides. The rescuers comforted all the dolphins into the night. When the tide began flowing back in over the sandbar, the young dolphin felt strong enough to try and swim, but the water was still too shallow. As the tide washed around him, he called to his mother in clicking and squeaky sounds until he heard her weakly calling back. Out in deeper water, the dark fins of hungry sharks slashed through the blue-black waves. The sharks cruised back and forth, waiting to ambush the weakened dolphins once they tried to swim. Oh no, so now if the dolphins go out into the water, the sharks might get them. The tide kept pushing in and the sharks swam closer. Some of the rescuers shined their lights on the prowling sharks, while others moved the dolphins to a safe lagoon near the shore. So they found another body of water called the lagoon, And the dolphins can go there. In the safety of a shoreline lagoon, brightly lit by the rescuers' lights, the dolphins swam for the first time since being stuck. The old mother, though, was still too weak to swim. She closed her eyes and rolled on her side in the water. The young dolphin squeaked softly to her until she recovered enough to swim slowly but steadily in the lagoon. The tide came and went in the night and came back again at first light. Morning dawned, brightening the water with the hazy colors of a new day. The dolphins swam round and round in the lagoon, getting stronger with every turn. So they're building back up their strength. Then one by one, the dolphins were allowed to leave the lagoon and swim back out to sea, but only after each was corralled and observed to see if it was strong enough. When the rescuers tried to corral him and his mother, the young dolphin escaped by swimming under a tangled mangrove tree. And there he stayed while his mother was being caught and held in the water. So now the little dolphin is stuck in the trees. When his mother was finally let go, the little dolphin dashed out to join her. Together again, they swam in happy circles, chattering to each other in their high-pitched clicks. So he saw and heard his mother and came out from the trees. With the tide high and deep, they swam past the rescuers' boats, out of the shoreline lagoon, and back into the submerged sandbar, back to the freedom of the sea. The end. I hope you liked the story about dolphins. Have a great day.